Hello again, you're still watching Joy News Prime. Let's do more business. Some salt manufacturers are calling on governments to cut down the importation of the commodity to enhance market for their produce. They say despite Ghana having the capacity to produce more than sufficient salt, they are unable to up their production due to low demand. Sheila Tameklo has more in this report.
According to the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Ghana's salt industry, as of 2009, produced between 250,000 and 300,000 tons of salt annually, despite the potential to produce 2.2 million tons. Interestingly, the country consumes just 20,000 tons of the total production, leaving an excess of over 250,000 tons. General Manager for Diamond Salt Company says despite the company having more than sufficient capacity to produce salt, they are unable to produce at maximum capacity due to the high importation of salt.
We are not getting market. If the market is improved, we can produce more salt and we can sell. We getting some information, some salt also still importing, but that is we don't have any records with us. So the government has to be look after it.
This notwithstanding, the local salt manufacturers say government should explore alternative markets in Nigeria for the industry.
Even now, small we are exporting to Togo, Benin and Burkina Faso. Still we are exporting small. But if the large way we can export in Nigeria, it will give us better price and market what we are feeling.
Public Relations Officer for 7C Salt Company also added his voice to the call.
There is no need for Ghana importing salt from anywhere. We are producing more already. So we need to take over Nigeria market. And Nigeria is just a stone throw from here. But there are a lot of limitations getting to Nigeria.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tameklo reporting.
Works and Housing Minister Samuel Atachian has impressed on architects to embrace greenhouse technology to ease the cost of construction. Speaking at the second Ghana Green Building Summit in Accra, the sector minister reiterated government's readiness to fund greenhouse projects.
Housing Minister Samuel Atachian has impressed on architects to embrace greenhouse architecture so as to ease the cost of house construction.
I think I've had enough of theory. Is there any Ghanaian of consequence who will sit down there and partner with the ministry? I promise you land. I will even make a budgetary allocation for you in terms of mobilization.
The conference saw stakeholders in the housing sector advocate policies and legislations to prioritize greenhouse architecture in Ghana. Architect Richard Nee Dade is president of the Ghana Institute of Architects.
In a growing economy like ours, which is relatively young, we really do need some kind of government legislation or sense of direction to push us to do these things. Without that, people will always stick to their old ways of doing things. So it is important.
Executive Secretary of the Ghana Real Estate Association tells Joy Business that more needs to be done on the side of government to improve the yields of greenhouse architecture.
We need to get policy drive to either compel the design and construction to adapt it.
Executive Director of the Ghana Institute of Engineers, Kwabena Japan, explained to Joy Business the need to adopt the culture of greenhouse architecture in the country.
Now, when we talk about green economy, we're saying that there should be more efficiency in the use of energy, in the use of water, and it's all linked to the SDGs.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director of Yecham Property Consult, Cyril Ni Aite Tete, who is the founder of the summit, believes a policy direction would help enforce the concept of green architecture.
If you leave Ghanaians, or if you leave residents or future homeowners to build green, it won't work.
All right, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. PM Express Business Edition, and the man who will be steering affairs tonight, my favorite man, Philip Namfuri, is here as always to tell us what to expect tonight. Hello, Philip, thanks for your time. My favorite man, my favorite boy.
I prefer man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we serving the viewers tonight?
Okay, so you know, last week we had a discussion on the microfinance issues, and this week we want to look at the savings and loans sector, and we want to go ahead of the Bank of Ghana's announcement because we know that they are going to go next to the savings and loans in the rural and community banks. more often than not, they come out with their announcement and then we have the discussions. This time, we want to see if there's anything wrong with their approach, with what they did in the microfinance sector, because we are hearing stories of people complaining about panic withdrawals, etc. So we're going to hear from the Association of Savings and Loans and the Ghana Microfinance Institutions Network on the best approach Bank of Ghana should use, because they do this in line with the law, but there should be a manner in which it reduces the effects of panic withdrawals and then the confusion, if I may say so, in the system.
Interesting conversation ahead tonight, but the issue has to do with, yes, we've been speaking about the approach from the commercial banks, then we move to the microfinance, now we're going to savings and loans. I mean, all these talks and inputs from stakeholders, is it really making an impact? Because obviously Bank of Ghana will take their decision anyway.
Sandra, I believe dialogue is the only way forward in a democracy like ours, and I want to believe Bank of Ghana is a listening institution. So if stakeholders feel there's a way in which they should go, I think Bank of Ghana should listen to them, and we should find a way to reduce the disturbance in the system, because it's not going to help any of us. So tonight we have more.
So who are your guests? Shall I use a word?
Okay, so I have from the Savings and Loans Association, Tunebo Akodia-Boakye, he's Executive Secretary, and then from the GAMFIN, that's the Ghana Microfinance Institutions Network, Yao Jemfi, he's Executive Director. So let's see what happens. All
right, so can't wait for that. So make a date with Philip Ganda Namfuri and his guest tonight on the Joy News channel on Multi TV and channel 421 on DSTV and GoTV channel 144 for that discussion on the savings and loan sector. To the commodity market now, crude oil sold at $61.11 a barrel. Updates of the commodity market is up next. Business tonight with me, Sandra Essenam Apen. You can get more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Have it.